In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean out the carburetor on this Briggs and Stratton 17.5 horsepower engine. It's a fairly easy job, but there are a couple of tips and tricks that you should know about. I'm going to make it real easy for you. This is Rudy from Take a Bath Productions with another video showing you how to fix various things. If you're a subscribed member to my community, then welcome back. If you're new to this channel, consider clicking that subscribe button below. And please like this video if you found it helpful for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so we're going to need to get this carburetor off of here to clean it out. Now, I'd like to take the top of the engine off. You probably could get away with not doing that, but I think it'd just be easier. So I'm going to pull the top of the engine off. I'm going to pull the fuel line, the power right here, and this line right here. I think it's a vent for the gas tank. Now, as you can see, or maybe you can't see, but our fuel line is about right here. Now, normally, if this thing has been sitting for a while, I would drain this fuel out into a glass container or something and dispose of it safely and flush this out with a water hose and let it dry, of course, and then start filling it back with gas again. I already know that this gas is okay, so I'm not going to do that. But if yours has been sitting, then you probably would want to do that too. But let's go ahead and get this fuel line out of the way first. I like to pinch that with a pair of needle nose vice grips. Just go ahead and squeeze the clamp right here a little bit and move that back. Now, if your fuel line is old, you might want to also change the fuel line even after you flush the gas tank. And of course, you're going to want to change the fuel filter as well. I'm not going to do any of that. I already know this one is okay, but sometimes they're not. There we go. Very little came out. That's what I wanted. Just tuck this fuel line up out of the way. It's better to store it up if you've got gas in there so it doesn't wind up leaking all over your house or garage or whatever you're using to work on. Let's go ahead and pull this vent line out. Get that out of the way. And this power wire, just pull that straight down. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the top of the motor off here. Just go ahead and remove the air filter. And the 4 bolts, there's one right here. There's one on the other side that you can't see, and there's 2 in the front. Now these, the holes in the top of the engine where the bolt goes through is not slotted, which is so crazy, especially right here. When you back the bolt out, it hits the frame for the gas tank, and it really turns into a pain in the neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these bolts out, but then I'm going to slot it. I'm going to cut this out with a roto zip or anything like that. All right, this little thing right here needs to come out because there's metal right here. And what will happen is when you try to lift that up, you're going to be fighting against this metal. So go ahead and pull that out. Get it started with a screwdriver maybe, and then finish it off with some dikes. Careful not to squeeze too hard or you'll cut that off of there. But that will alleviate that problem. All right, I've gone ahead and got all the bolts loose. There's one more right here hiding behind where the air filter goes. It's just a 1/4 inch head on there. Now, there we go. This one came loose. Just go ahead and lift this up out of the way. Now let me show you what I'm talking about here with the slot. So right here is the 2 holes in the back of the engine. One's right here and one's right here, okay? So what I did on the other hole, so I can show you the difference, is I just elongated the bottom there so that all I have to do is loosen the bolt a little bit and then it will slide right out. You don't have to remove the bolt. I'm going to do the same thing with this one before I put it back. It'll just make things easier, and you can leave those bolts in. All right, just need to remove this air cleaner adapter, swoopy thing. These are just 7/16 bolts. It's very simple. Nuts, I mean. and remove the breather from the back. Just pops right off of there. All right, so now we just got to remove these two guys right here. All right, that's just a 5/16. Probably a 6-point socket would be better than this 12-pointed wrench I'm using. All right, got the two screws out of there. Let's just pull this spring right there. This one will come out right here. All right. Now when you take this one off, keep in mind which hole that's in. There's 3 different holes right there. All right, it's on the one that's farthest out. And you can go ahead and take that off. And just carefully remove that. All right, now we're free. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the bowl. And that's just very simple. This is a 12 millimeter wrench to remove this anti-afterfire solenoid, fuel solenoid, whatever you want to call it. Now, if your mower has been sitting for a while, this is definitely something you want to look at. I don't know if you can see it here, but notice the plunger should be moving very freely, like so. If it is not, if it goes down and sticks and doesn't come back, then that's a problem, okay? So that's how it's supposed to work. Go ahead and pull the bowl off of there. It's good if you have a rag or something nearby. And the bottom of the bowl actually looks pretty good. I don't see, there's a little bit of stuff in the bottom there, but it's pretty clean. Probably just something trash inside one of the jets maybe. And just a simple cleaning, fix that right up. And the float looks good, not even yellow. Now normally to get this float off of here, it's very simple. You just got to push the pin out and that's the end of it. But not on this one. There we go. It wasn't too hard to drive out of there. Usually they just push right out, no problem. And just lift that straight up, like so. And take a little look at the needle and seat right here. This has got a rubber tip on it. And the rubber tip does look pretty good. All right, so hopefully you can see down in there, we've got a flathead for the emulsion tube. Sometimes you have to take a regular screwdriver and cut the sides off of it there so it'll fit down in there with a grinder, kind of like I've done with this one, as you can see. All right, just take this puppy out of here. These things do get clogged up quite a bit. And this one's threading all the way out. Sometimes they won't thread all the way out because this isn't actually the emulsion tube, this is the main jet. But the emulsion tube is still in there. Now this may be a little bit hard to see on the camera, but the emulsion tube is sticking up right there in the middle. I usually just take something and push on it to get it started. And there we go, it came right out. All right, let's go ahead and pull this plate off. All right, got one more jet here on the outside that we want to remove. Now if your carburetor's dirty around this outside jet right here, you might want to blow that off first before you remove that to keep that dirt from falling down in there. All right, pull that guy out, set it aside. And I think that's pretty much it for disassembly. All right, so here on this emulsion tube, as you can see here, what I've got here is my torch head cleaning tool. Okay, it's got various sizes of rods and stuff like that. I've had some of my viewers say that they've used guitar string successfully, and yeah, I can see how guitar string would work. But just basically on these things, you just got to take these rods and go through any little hole that you see. Now on this one, I'm not seeing too many holes, but you want to examine yours very carefully. And any little hole like that, you definitely want to feed something through there to clear out the hole, just like so, okay? Just like that, right there. All right, here's another hole up here. This one's not likely clogged. Right here. Here's another one, like that, all right? Definitely want to go through the middle. Okay, anything like that you're going to want to clean out. After you clean it out, all right, now you're going to want to take some brake clean or carburetor cleaner and an air compressor and spray it first with the brake clean and then go over it with the air compressor to clear anything out. All right, here's this other jet right here. I don't know if you can tell. There's a tiny little hole right there in the middle. You definitely want to clear that out right there. See that, like that? Make sure, I'm trying to keep it in focus here, but I've got it zoomed in, so it's hard to focus right there. There's some more holes on the side. Want to make sure these are clean. All right, same thing with that. The main jet, right there, there's a small hole through the main jet. Go through the main jet real quick. Okay. Anything else that you see that's got little holes in it, you want to clean out and then do the brake clean and then do the compressed air. Now another problem that I've seen these mowers have, all right, we're looking in the throttle side right here. Now with the butterfly open, you might even have to remove this butterfly, all right, remove it, take the 2 screws out, and then pull the shaft out in the middle so you can get to this. There's 3 little tiny little holes right in the side here of the Venturi, all right. It's very hard to see on the camera, all right. I don't have enough light in there. But if you look in there, you'll see these tiny little holes. And if you've got a surging problem, all right, you'll want to clean those holes out, flush them out with air, with brake clean, with everything you got to make sure that those holes in the side there are clean. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and clean everything up on this, and then I'm going to come back. Here's some more holes here. You want to clean these out, make sure these are clean. All right, so I'm going to clean everything out and come back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together just the same way I showed you how to take it apart. I'm going to fast forward this part to save a little bit of time. All right, I got it all back on there. I'm going to go ahead and put the top of the motor back on off camera. I'm going to cut that slot over here like I was saying so that slips on there a lot easier. And then I'll come back and let's give it a test. Okay, let's just give it a quick little test. Runs like a champ. Okay, I hope this video was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.